Now, let's talk about the Osgood Schramm's model of communication. It is known as a circular model because it indicates that the messages can go in two directions. Hence, once a person decodes a message, then they can encode it and send a message back to the sender. They could continue encoding and decoding into a continuous cycle. Now, there are four key points that we need to remember about this model. The number one is communication is not linear but a circular, because a sender can be a receiver and the receiver can be a sender as well. There are feedback in the communication, that's why it's two-way and it's circular mode of communication. Then number two, communication is reciprocal and equal because there are feedback, there are circular. The message can go to the receiver and the receiver can be a sender as well, that he or she can pass a message to the first sender. Number three, messages are based on interpretations. Number four and the last, communication involves encoding, decoding, and interpreting. But what is encoding, decoding, and interpreting? Who is the person behind this? In encoding, we are someone called the encoder. The encoder is the one who does encoding or send the message to the other person or to the receiver. Then in decoding, we have a person that we call the decoder. This is the one or the who receives the message. He accepts, she accepts, or she complies with the message. Then the last one is the interpreting, and the person behind this we call the interpreter. The interpreter is the person trying to understand, analyze, and perceive or interpret what is the message.
Okay, good morning, class.
Good morning, sir.
You may now take your seat.
Thank you, sir.
Before we start our new topic, what was our topic last meeting? Yes,
Miss Villar, sir. Our topic last meeting is about communication.
Okay. Okay, communication. Now, what is communication? Okay, Miss.
Miss Fernandez, sir. Sir, communication is a process of receiving and sending a message.
Okay, give her a round of applause. As you mentioned, communication is a process of receiving and sending a message. Now, give me a specific example of communication.
Okay, sir. One of the example is like what we do right now. I am giving you an information about the last topic I knew last time, and I am the sender and you are the receiver. That's all.
Okay. I will post it in my YouTube channel. Okay, let's proceed to our topic for today. It's called models of communication. One of the models of communication is Osgood Schramm's model.
So, for basic explanation of this model, let's remember what we tackled earlier. Let's summarize what we tackled earlier. This model of communication in which the sender and the receiver engage in a circular way. Both the receiver and the sender exchanges roles and give each other feedback, which completes the process. The model has various features, including a sender who is the source of the message and a receiver as well, who interprets the message. The message is the communication from the sender to the receiver. And lastly, there is a feedback, which is the message that a receiver sends back to a sender. Sender to a sender, receiver to a receiver. That's why it's circular.
Hey Sam! Hi! Hi Abby! How are you? I'm good. How about you? Tired. Tired? Why? Yeah. There's a lot of schoolwork that we need to pass this week. It's so exhausting. I can agree to that. College life is so stressful. It's so hard. And I also want to give up. But we can do this, right? Yeah. We have no choice. We need to fight. We need to get that degree. Yes! To get that degree, let's go back to our class. Okay? Let's go! Let's go!
Look and listen. As we can see and hear, one of the advantage of this model is it provides a straightforward approach to communicating, with sender and the receiver trading roles back and forth in a circular pattern. This allows both parties to contribute equally and share their feedback, which acts as a confirmation or a assurance that the message has been received and decoded. However, as you can see, certainly, Osgood Schramm's model, while effective in highlighting key elements like source, message, channel, and receiver, have disadvantages. It lacks depth in addressing the intricacies of communication. Semantic noise, particularly in this context, represents the challenges arising from misunderstanding in the meaning of symbols. This model doesn't delve deeply into the various forms of semantic noise, such as cultural differences, individual interpretation of context-specific meanings, making it less comprehensive in handling real-world communication complexities.
What are the disadvantages of Osgood Schramm model? One of the weaknesses of Osgood Schramm model is lack of consideration external factors that influence the communications process, such as cultural difference, noise, and nonverbal cues.
Did you know that Osgood Schramm models of communication was developed in 1954 by Wilbur Schramm, who built upon the ideas of Charles E. Osgood? It is one of the earliest interaction models of communication.
The model has a various features, including the sender, who is the source of the message, and the receiver, who interprets the message. The message is from the sender to receiver. And lastly, there is a feedback that the message from the receiver send back to a sender.
What makes Osgood Schramm's model different from other models of communication? Osgood Schramm's model holds that communication occurs in circular way. Being circular means that both the sender and the receiver exchange roles and participate equally in communication. This differentiates it with other models, which view communication as linear.
What is the importance of Osgood Schramm's model of communication? It can mediate processes that may undergo successful communication, such as external noise or errors in phases of encoding and decoding. Schramm's model of communication includes a feedback loop and the processes of encoding, decoding, and interpretation.